Hello, dear students. Now it's time for the Snapshots book. The chapter we are going to start today is The Address, written by Maga Minko. Part wise, we'll go through the explanation of this chapter. So, dear students, go through the explanation carefully and then we will discuss your doubts. Introduction of the chapter. The story is about the human predicament that follows the pre-war and the post-war period. The setting of the story is post-World War II and the persecution of the Jews by Hitler's Nazi forces. The girl, that is the narrator, and her mother, Mrs. S, were Jews. The story narrates a heart-touching account of a girl who goes in search of her mother's belongings after the Second World War in Holland. But even after finding what she so much wanted to touch, to see, to feel and remember, she leaves everything behind as it could not bring her dead mother back. She decides to move on and live with only memories of the former times. The address that held so much importance till she visited that place lost its value, and the girl realized that it could get her nothing but pain. Now, let us know something about the characters. The daughter. She is the narrator who returns to Holland to go to the address where her mother's precious belongings were kept. As normalcy had returned after the Second World War in Holland, she wanted to see all possessions that were a bond between her family and herself. Next, Mrs. S, the narrator's mother. In the story, the narrator's mother has been called as Mrs. S. She was a simpleton who could not see the manipulating and fraudulent nature of Mrs. Dorling, her acquaintance. She trusted Mrs. Dorling and allowed her to keep all her precious belongings for the time being. The next one, Mrs. Dorling. She has been described as an old acquaintance of Mrs. S. After a long gap, she appeared again during the war. She possessed a cunning personality. She is most reluctant to recognize the daughter and does not allow her to enter the house. Now let's start the explanation of the chapter. The narrator knocked at the door of a house, but the door was opened only a little. She asked the owner if she knew her. The lady replied in negative, to which the narrator told her that she was Mrs. S.'s daughter. But the owner of the house, Mrs. Dorling, denied knowing her. Mrs. Dorling kept staring at her without speaking any word, as if she had not recognized her at all. The narrator thought that perhaps she was mistaken and had rung the wrong bell, that maybe she had come to the wrong house, as she had seen the woman for a short time, and that too years ago. Then the narrator got a glimpse of her mother's green knitted cardigan, which Mrs. Dorling was wearing. This confirmed to her that she had reached the correct address. Next, the narrator asked the woman about knowing her mother. The woman questioned back to her if she had come back. The girl replied in positive and told her that she had come from far off place just to talk to her. But Mrs. Dorling excused herself by saying that she could not talk to the girl that day and she should come again later. Then she shamelessly closed the door, as she didn't want anyone to get disturbed in the house. The narrator stood for some time on the steps even after the door was closed. Someone was watching her from the bay window. The girl presumed that someone other than Mrs. Dorling must be watching her and must have asked why the narrator came there. and the woman would have said nothing. The narrator looked at the nameplate again. It said number 46 and Dawlings was written on plate on white enamel. After this refusal, the narrator walked back to the station thinking about her mother. Her mother had given her Mrs. Dawling's address years ago. It had been in the first half of the war. She was at home one day and it struck her that the room was different as various things were missing. The mother was surprised as the narrator noticed the change a little later. The narrator's mother then told her about Mrs. Dawling, an old acquaintance, whom her mother had not seen for years, and suddenly she came to visit her, and since then they were in contact regularly. Next, her mother also informed her that every time when Mrs. Dawling came, she took something home with her, like table silvers, antique plates, large vases, etc. The reason Mrs. Dawling gave for her actions was that she wanted to save all the good things, as the narrator's mother would not be able to save everything if they had to leave suddenly. The narrator's mother had accepted the idea. She was rather obliged towards Mrs. Dawling that she was carrying such heavy luggage every time she visited, as it was really risky during the war. The mother noticed that her daughter wasn't convinced and looked at her critically. The narrator, meanwhile, arrived at the station without having paid much attention to the things on the way. She was walking in familiar places again for the first time since the war. She didn't want to upset herself with the sight of the streets and houses full of memories from a precious time. In the train, she remembered the first time when she had seen Mrs. Dawling. It was the morning after the day her mother had told her about Mrs. Dawling, whom she saw when she came downstairs. Her mother introduced her, and the woman responded with a nod. She was wearing a brown coat and a shapeless hat. The narrator had asked from her mother if she lived far away, as she was carrying a heavy case. Her mother told her that Mrs. Dawling lived at number 46 Marconi Street, and the girl remembered it. So, dear students, here we have completed the explanation of part first. Now you may come up with your doubts. Thank you.